Greetings and salutations from Lone Wolf Custom Painting. Welcome back to Fundamental Fridays. Okay, old man, what compressor should I get? I had one individual say, hey, he said, thanks for the tip on the dehydrator. She whacked me upside the head with a skillet, but I still got my dehydrator. Well, sometimes we all have to suffer the pain. Okay, let's start off with this. First off, you have your regular hobby air compressors, tankless. Okay, do they work? Yes. Are they the best? No. Would I suggest it? No. Here's why. First off, doesn't have a tank on it. Secondly, it pulsates. In other words, your pressure does not stay what it should be. Okay, regardless of where you set your regulator at. You get ups and downs. Okay, that's not good for spraying. Okay, that's a point there. Also, being that it's such a small unit, it quickly builds condensation. And that trap, which is usually about yay big in height and maybe yay big in diameter, fills up quite quickly. Now, it's one thing for model railroading, but when you're painting a car body and you're laying down a multitude of light mist coats, you're going to build up condensation in said trap real quick. So, off the table. Also, they sell a unit with a tank on it, but also suffers from the same aforementioned maladies. And they have a tendency to walk too. Even though they have rubber stoppers on the feet, they will walk off a workbench. Ask me how I know. Okay, so that's one choice. Not my choice. Second, this little baby right here. Okay? Got a built-in regulator. It's got 2 ports on it. It's got a tank on it. It will maintain a steady setting of air pressure. Okay, you can adjust it, and you might have to fiddle a little bit with it to get it to where you want it, but you will maintain pressure in the tank. Also, they're not that quiet, and also, if you're smart, and this goes when it comes to the spouse, honey, we can use this to pump tires. You can also pay attention to the sales flyers, and you can pick one of these up and you get a nail gun, sometimes a brad gun, sometimes a sander, etc., etc. All depends on what you want. Now, this is usually you can pick these up for about $179, and usually, as I said, you usually get accessories. It's not that noisy either. That's about it. But this is probably the middle of the road. You can always set this outside the garage door and run a hose underneath, and you'll be fine. Alright, so if you look to your right, my left, this is what I use. Okay, maybe a bit of an overkill. It's a great shop compressor all the way across the board. It's got several ports on it. I can snap this up. The right front tire on the street rod has a tendency to go a little bit low every once in a while. Just a little dab will do you, a couple pounds of air. You're clear and in the clean with that. Now, this one might get you smacked repeatedly with a skillet, because this one's usually about close to $300. Once again, if you're paying attention, they do go on sale. It's great to have in your shop. You also get accessories with these too, along the lines of this, but this is more for carpentry, whereas this is automotive bound, for lack of a better term. I've gotten air guns and everything else with this when I purchased this particular unit. Now, like I said, we're going to kill a couple birdies with one stone with this video. Lighting. Now, if you look around, and Jake will do a panorama for you. Now, these lights, I think I paid $12 or $13 for these Rural King. We also bought the 4 bulbs, and now I got sunlight coming in here right now, but the lighting in this is plenty, and it's LED. You save a lot more money on electricity by using it. It's much brighter. It allows you to see anything and everything, and it's worth the cost. Now, I think they were $39 a piece, but well worth the money. Lighting is very, very important, regardless of whether you're building for your shelves, for your showcases, or if you're building for the show circuit. You invest a little bit of money, and you've heard me say 1,000,001 times, put your money into your tools first. Kits can come later. You always want to airbrush under good lighting. This way you don't miss anything, and if you get a little bit of a hair or something in it, you're going to see it better than when you go in there after it's flashed out. And it's not exactly what you want it to be. Okay, here comes the third stone to be thrown. Young man asked me, he noticed in one of the previous videos of what I had set up here. Now, this is the Pache H, okay? To go into or to use with a larger compressor such as this, you need to get yourself some quick connect fittings. Now, what the quick connect fittings are, you have this. Now, these are a bit of an overkill. These are industrials, which I acquired when I worked for a printing company. Okay, I bought a box of them. Couldn't beat the price. The salesman was there. Hey, it's worth it. Quick connect. This coming off the header, you've got a 3/8 pipe nipple. Now, the 3/8 pipe nipple fits perfectly onto your H right here. So basically, you've got naturally your hose that comes with the H kit. You've got a 3/8 inch pipe nipple, and then depending on which unit you're using, you just got to step it up. Local hardware store, Lowe's, etc. all sell these fittings, and it's nice to have a few of them around. Now, I realize, of course, for a lot of you guys, this is overkill, but I usually have 4 or 5 airbrushes sitting here because I divide it up. I've got one for black, I've got one for clear, I've got one for pearls, I've got one for metallics, and I've got one for standard colors. This way I keep everything down to a low roar when it comes to if I have a little chunk of whatever and it spits, at least it's going to be black on black rather than black on white or white on black. I can't preach enough to keep your airbrushes clean, okay? You all saw me do it a while back. You sit down, you break it down, it's done. You're cleaned up in 10 minutes, 5 minutes even. It's just a regular maintenance thing. You have to keep after these. And it's, you're protecting yourself, you're protecting your finish, you're protecting basically the model itself because, let's face it, kids, they ain't getting no cheaper. So, I hope this answered the questions for you. Like I said, it all depends on whether or not how bad of a beating you want to take with a skillet. But once again, you're putting your money into your tools and in your equipment. And these things, as long as you take good care of them, you have to drain that one and this one on occasion. And basically, they take care of themselves and they will last you quite a few years as long as you don't abuse them. And same way with these. Most of these airbrushes are 10, 15, 20 years old. And that's why I love the H as much as what I do, which answered another question because a young man asked me what I prefer, and I prefer the H. Dual action, it's great for model railroading if you have to do shadowing and stuff like that. But with the H, you get 3 different heads, and you can do the same job with the H as you can with anything else. Basically, you know, a number 5 head, needle assembly, and nozzle is all you really need to paint your model car bodies. And you know, I always go by the adage of the KISS principle: keep it simple, stupid. I fit that description quite well. But until the next time, I hope y'all enjoy your weekend. This is your old man and Jake from Lone Wolf Custom Painting. God bless. Have a great week. I'll see you next Friday.